all 9 of them.
There's nothing out there except dust and ruse.
You remember that smash up on the highway coming into town, right, about 12 months ago?
Someone's been tearing the fences down there at the old Addison's farm there.
Down a few sheep too. About 300 or 400 metres off, when I hit the spotty on it. It was a boar. Couldn't find the couple. All the police found was the wrecked car. I was driving back from Bob's place in my truck, and I saw something in the paddock.
At the beginning of this story, we see a farmer who is sitting near his fields at night, just trying to relax. Suddenly, weird noises started coming from nearby. When he noticed, he realized his dog wasn't around him. He went a bit closer to check and saw some strange creature attacking his dog. He got really scared because he had never seen such a big animal before. To scare it away, he started shouting loudly. But the animal, instead of running away, the animal got angry and stomped hard, breaking the entire fence it was standing on. The broken fence suddenly caught the man's leg and wrapped around it, causing him a lot of pain. Struggling badly, he managed to free himself from the fence and slowly tried to move forward. Just as he was about to escape, he heard a growl behind him. Scared, he turned around and saw the terrifying, blood-covered animal. He was just staring at him with a stunned look. The guy got really scared, and the animal dragged him deep into the dark forest and later killed him. His screams were absolutely spine-chilling. Then the scene shifts, and we see a couple in a car who have come camping in the forest. When the guy steps out of the camp to do something, not long after, his wife hears him screaming and yelling. At first, she thought her husband was just playing a prank on her. But with every passing second, her screams grew more terrifying, and amidst her husband's yelling, she could also hear some growling sounds. Terrified, when the girl opened her camp, her husband's shredded body suddenly fell into her lap. Seeing this, her mind went blank, and she even vomited. She couldn't understand what had just happened to her, or what she was supposed to do now. Before she could even come up with a plan to escape, that creature, the big, beast-like animal, covered in blood, with a bloody face, he attacks him too and almost kills him. Two guys camping in the same forest hear the guy screaming and the beast growling from a distance. When they come closer to check out what's going on near the camp, they see a huge boar, a pig that's insanely big. One of the guys thinks he must be hallucinating because he's never seen a pig that big before. He tells his friend, "I think I'm seeing things." He took a shot because he saw a huge wild boar over there. Hearing this, his other friend snatched the sniper rifle from his hands and, after taking a look, confirmed that it was indeed a wild boar. When he tried to shoot the boar, he missed because his eyesight was weak, and by the time he looked again, the boar had already run away. After the boar left, they went over to the tent and saw the torn-up bodies of a couple in such bad shape because of that boar. They were already dead. Looking at the rest of the stuff there, Ken figured that 4 people must have lived here, and when they were attacked, the other 2 probably ran away somewhere. He told his friend Blue, "You go to town and get some help. I'll stay here and look for the other survivors." On the way back to town, Blue started hearing strange noises around him. When he looked back, scared, he saw that big pig staring at him with greedy, fierce eyes. This guy better know. He thought he wouldn't make it out alive. That's why instead of running away in panic, he just stood there. Suddenly, the pig attacked him fiercely, tearing him apart painfully and eating him. In the same forest, we see another couple, who Ken had guessed must be around. These 2 were trying to entertain each other by telling scary stories. But their stories turned real in an instant when they started hearing growls very close to them. When the husband stepped forward a bit to check, but at that moment he didn't see anything. But as soon as he turned around, he saw this huge creature, the same big pig, attacking his wife in a really brutal way. After attacking her, the pig sank its big teeth into her back and lifted her off the ground face down. The whole scene was so creepy that even the husband watching it was completely shaken up. He couldn't even stand properly, but still, she tried to run away from here. But her attempt was stopped right there, because suddenly Pig attacked her face with one swift move, severing her neck from her body in a brutal way, killing both the husband and wife. Ken, who had come all the way here looking for this couple, felt really disappointed when he saw they were already dead. He had hoped to save at least one more couple. Just as he was thinking about this, right at that moment, right in front of them, this huge, crazy pig comes charging. Fresh blood kept dripping from its mouth, the blood of the people this pig had already killed. Before it could go even crazier and finish Ken off, basically kill him, Ken flashed his big knife. And just there, the scene cuts to the next morning. A guy is driving his van, heading into the same forest. Suddenly, that pig jumps up, bites the van, flips it over, and the guy gets into a really bad accident. The sound of the car accident echoed far and wide, and we were shown who was inside the car. His sister's family had come camping nearby, and they immediately realized that this accident must have involved her brother's car. It turned out the man's name was Barney, and the girl sent her husband and son-in-law to check on her brother. When they saw Barney, it was clear he wasn't badly hurt, but his car was in terrible shape, and there was some hair stuck to the back of the car, which clearly meant that a huge animal had attacked. He was trying to get out of the car, but the door was jammed badly from the impact. So, after struggling a lot and kicking around, he managed to open the car. Bernie was getting really angry about the whole thing. He took out his weapon from the car and started reloading it, ready to take down the animal that had hit his car. Meanwhile, two guys who were coming to find Bernie suddenly ran into a pig right in front of them. Instead of getting scared, both of them just stared at the pig in surprise. They start to leave. Suddenly, the boy notices that the boar, a big, scary-looking one, has bloodshot eyes. It looks like it could attack them any second. Scared, the boy throws his father-in-law toward the boar and runs away. The boar ruthlessly grabs the man's head in its mouth and tears it off his body. Bernie, who was coming from a distance, saw the whole thing with his own eyes. He had also seen the boar, so he quickly takes aim at it and fires the shot right. The pig comes running over. Now, this boy, who had run away from here risking his father-in-law's safety, is shouting from a distance to his fiancée and her mom, telling them to run, that there's danger here. But no one believes him. They start asking about his father. Then the boy says that a huge boar attacked him and he died. Both women standing there start laughing because they think the boy is joking. But the next moment, their minds change when the wild pig comes rushing at the boy. He grabs his mouth and runs away, but the boy gets hit right inside his mouth. The scene had become so intense that everyone there was shocked out of their minds. Everyone went crazy. The girl was extremely upset seeing her fiancé die. Her mom was trying to take her away from there. But when she refused to leave just in time, Bernie showed up and took all three of them away. There wasn't much time left. To save their lives, Bernie came up with an idea, and crossing the river, headed towards the other side of the fields. They decided to go to the other side since the town was closer from there. But he knew that even taking that route, they'd still get to town only by nightfall. These people just keep running to save their lives. Bernie felt like that boar, that crazy, mangy pig, must be scared of water. But he had no idea how ferocious it really was. In the dead of night, it finds them again. When it spots them once more, everyone freaks out, and that boar attacks one of their guys fiercely and ends up eating him. He's as good as dead. As good as... He had gone, but got a chance to escape. Barney's sister was completely shattered over her daughter's death, but Barney was trying to forcefully take her away. However, their luck turned here because they found a small wooden shelter nearby, and inside it, everyone could finally catch a bit of a breather. When they got there, Barney's sister and her daughter were both totally broken. By this point, she had already lost 3 very special people on this trip. When Barney went over to support his sister, she turned away from him. She started blaming him, saying it was all his fault, that despite having such a heavy body, he couldn't save his nephew. She called him a coward. Well, The crying and whining went on for a while. Then, the exhaustion from the whole day forced them to fall asleep. After some time, their eyes opened again because the cold had gotten way worse. Bernie decided to bring some firewood from outside to ease their discomfort. They could burn it to warm up the place. But as soon as Bernie opened the door, the boar was probably waiting right there. I was just waiting for Bernie to open the door and come inside. Suddenly, that boar smashed right through the whole door and barged into the cabin. But this time, Bernie was already super pissed off at the boar. He felt guilty because his nephew had died while he was around. So, he took out all his anger on the boar and bravely pulled out his knife, stabbing the boar's neck several times. But the boar wasn't hurt much by the attack. Just then, Bernie's sister and her daughter came out and stood behind him. Bernie, along with all of them. Someone here started telling him to run away. As soon as they heard that, both of them took off, and Barney attacked that boar again. But this time, the boar gathered all its strength and threw Barney far away with its teeth. Barney also lost his knife somewhere during the attack, so now he had no weapon to fight the boar. But Barney didn't give up. He got up and landed a hard punch on the boar. Still, the boar grabbed him and threw him back inside the cabin. Now the pig climbed on top of him and he was just about to kill him. But here, Barney gathered all his strength and barely slipped out from under him. He tried to save his life by hitting the boar with everything he could find in the cabin. His attack actually worked a little, and the boar stepped out of the cabin. Now Barney wanted to end this crazy boar's story right there. So he grabbed a piece of iron lying around, and just as he moved forward to hit the boar, bad luck struck. He slipped and fell right under that pig. Here he comes! Now that crazy pig was done messing around, there was no way he was gonna let her go. He put his foot on Bernie's chest and hurt her real bad. What happened after that with Bernie, we don't see. But the scene cuts to Bernie's sister and her daughter, and they're terrified. They're starving and freezing, looking awful. They decide they have to start a fire because even if they manage to get away from that crazy beast pig, the cold will kill them for sure. Somehow they get a fire going, but after just a little while, the monster pig shows up in front of them because it was attracted by the fire here. They were all really scared and panicked. They didn't know what to do to escape the monster. So, they tried to scare it off with the little torches they were holding in their hands. But none of it worked, and the monster grabbed Barney's sister's leg. Just as the boar was about to kill them both, a bright light from afar blurred their vision. The boar also looked toward that light, and that light. She quickly rushes over and hits that boar. It turns out it was a car that came and hit the boar to save these girls' lives. The girl's name was Sasha, who was the daughter of the old man shown at the beginning of the story, and she had come here this time to find her dad. You can see that the boar couldn't stand up anymore because the impact was so hard that many of its bones were broken, but it was still alive. Bernie's sister, to avenge the death of her family members, Sasha, she pulls a gun out of the car and shoots the boar several times, but it still doesn't die. Then her daughter grabs the gun from her and shoots the boar right in the eye. As soon as that happens, the boar falls down and stops moving. It was probably dead. They couldn't take any more risks, so they quickly got into Sasha's car and tried to get out of there. On the way, they spot Bernie, who everyone thought was dead, but he was badly injured. They were in a bad state. These people walk out of here thinking they've killed that boar and the danger is over. But there's no way that was going to happen, because the live boar were watching them leave and what's going to happen to them next. With this mystery, the whole story ends right here. If you want to see even crazier and mind-blowing movie explanation videos, don't forget to type next in the comments below. Thanks for watching.